Hello and welcome to my channel. In this short video, I'm going to introduce a few simple tips and tricks for getting started with design sketching, or specifically learning how to do freehand perspective. That means no rulers or straight edges. If you follow these tips and practice, you'll be well on your way to making beautiful design sketches using only a pencil and paper. So let's get started. Now, number one, I highly recommend that you use a pencil, not a pen. And there's several reasons for this. Number one, pencils give you a nice, smooth feel, and they're easier to control than pens. After you've practiced a while, you can get really nice results with pens. But if you're just getting started, I highly recommend pencils. This here is a Prismacolor Verithin. They make these in all different colors, but I prefer black or indigo blue. Both really nice pencils for getting started with design sketching. Another reason to use pencils is it gives you great control for making different line weights, something we'll get into shortly. As for paper, I'm just using regular printer paper, 8.5 by 11. There's a number of different papers you can use, but this is all you really need to get started. So let's get started. First things first. Straight lines. To draw freehand straight lines, there are several tips and tricks you can use to achieve this. The first, you want to try to draw from your shoulder. So you're going to move your hand not from your wrist, which causes you to make more curves, but from your shoulder. You can't see it in the video, but I'm moving my arm from my shoulder. So my whole arm is moving as I go back and forth. Another thing you want to do is use your pinky as a guide on the paper. So you can rest your pinky finger on the surface and use it to help support your hand. You're going to put your pencil down gently and start just moving back and forth with broad strokes using your shoulder. Now you'll notice that I'm making a lot of lines in one place. That's okay. For beginning, it's really important just to get a feel for this type of motion. Another thing that's important is you want to move the paper rather than your body. You don't want to be drawing from an awkward angle that's going to be really uncomfortable. You want to try to keep that same physical motion going no matter which way you draw a line. So say you want to draw a line this direction, you just change the direction of the paper rather than your body. It's a good idea to practice making really light marks first. If you're just getting started, I recommend grabbing a stack of paper and just doing as many straight lines as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's not going to be pretty, but you're just going to start to get the feel for how to control the pencil and control your body. It can help to make lots of parallel lines in the same direction. And it's a good idea to always have a few extra pencils ready to go in case these start to get dull. A sharp pencil is always your friend in design sketching. Another technique is to sweep your pencil back and forth over the same line. That way you can get a feel for finding that perfect straight line. And as you make several marks over the same area, an average line starts to emerge, and that average line becomes pretty straight. As you start to get more marks on your page, you can start to develop a pattern or simple design, just for fun. You can practice shorter lines and longer lines, changing the angle, sectioning off certain areas, just for practice. Another thing you can start to explore is giving the lines different line weights. Now, line weight simply refers to how dark or bold a line is drawn on the page. So a very light line looks like this. A little heavier, heavier yet. And very heavy. As you can see, they just have different qualities in how visible they are on the page. Now, this is something that will become important later on as we get into perspective. And there you have it. These are a few simple tips and tricks just to get you started with feeling comfortable drawing straight lines freehand with no rulers. In the next video, we'll talk about the basics of perspective and continue from there. Thanks for watching.